What's up, everybody, and welcome to week number 5 of the 2020 photo challenge. And if you're new to this, catching it on YouTube, or if you just come onto the group, or if you see this on someone else's post, the 2020 photo challenge can be found at facebook.com/groups/2020 photo challenge. And if you go to the about or the description part of the page, you will see that not only do we have a few rules, but we have listed all 52 weeks of the challenge, so you know what's coming up and you see what we've done. So if you are new and you want to catch up, we keep the current week's challenge pinned to the top of the Facebook page, but under the announcement sections we have each of those challenges going throughout, and you can go in and do any of those challenges and just add this week's and any past challenges, add to the comment section of that particular challenge you're doing. So this week's challenge is OpenAperture. Now, before we get too far, when you complete this challenge, please post it again in the comment section of this post. And also, if you post on social media such as Twitter or on Instagram, feel free to use the hashtag 2020 photo challenge and the hashtag OpenAperture. So, what is OpenAperture? Inside your lens, there are these little, say, leaves. We'll call it the iris, just like you have an iris in your eye. And an open aperture means you're opening that iris just as far as it can possibly go. Now, how can you determine what that is? It's indicated by the F number on your camera in your settings. So this particular lens I'm shooting with is a 45mm lens, and it's at f1.8, which is a very open aperture. F8 aperture closes that iris down and lets in less light. So I've explained that it lets in less light. That's two things that the aperture does. Is a more open aperture allows more light in, which means it's ideal for, say, astrophotography or night photography or shooting sports inside of an arena. Or the second thing it does, it gives you a separation from your subject to the background as well as the foreground. It'll blur out the foreground, it'll blur out the background, and those are known as bokehs. All right, so for instance, right here, I am currently shooting at f1.8 because I want to kind of blur that background out and have you focused on me right here. What would happen if I just all of a sudden switched to f8? Well, as you can see, the background is now a little more clear than what it was before. And while I'm still in focus, a lot of that is also in focus. But I like separation, especially for these talking head videos. So let me go back to f1.8. All right, so now we've got the background blurred again. I'm the one that's in focus. I'm shooting with an open aperture. Some of the things you can do with this, for this week's challenge, you can take 3 cups, put them on the table, staggering them and offset just a tad, and focus on the middle cup at the highest F number you can get with the lens you have. Now, 50mm, you can have like a 1.4 or 1.8. Again, this is a 45mm, it's at 1.8. Some lenses, such as a 70-200, have 2.8. I've got a 15-30 that's 2.8, and that's as open as they can go. They can't open up as much as this 45, for instance. But with a 70-200, I'm shooting a further distance, so at 2.8 I'm still getting very good separation between my subject and the background and the foreground. So go out, like I said, you can set 3 cups up. You can go out and focus on a particular bird that's in the leaves, focus something on the ground, a flower, anything like that, but shoot with the most open aperture, which is the smallest number, that smallest F number you can possibly get. But shoot that. Let's post it in the comment section of this post, and if you share to social media, again, hashtag OpenAperture, hashtag 2020 photo challenge, and hey, until next week for week number 6. Can you believe it? 6? Until next week, we'll see you then, and y'all have fun shooting, guys and gals. Appreciate it.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. startled our eyes. We let go of disguise.